Hi, my name is Shota.
And I'm Amber.
And welcome to the Kotatsu Club Podcast.
Where we talk about all things Japanese language and other stuff too.
Uh-huh.
So Shota, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about do's and don'ts for tourists.
Yes, so people coming to Japan. Lately it's been in the news a lot of buzz about like bad tourists or over-tourism in Japan. And personally I wonder like not how true it is, but I feel there's 3 million people coming into the country.
3 million?
Every month.
Are you sure about that?
No. How many people are coming?
No. You meant
is.
like a lot of people.
No, I think it's literally like
3 million.
3 million coming in and out of Japan. In and out.
Oh, okay.
Like 3 million going through the gates.
I don't know. That just sounds like a lot of people.
Many tourists come to Japan.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like make you do like fact check.
No, I want to know. I want to make sure I'm not like just lying to everyone. Yeah, it's about 3 million. I'm not wrong.
Oh. Wow.
So a lot of people are coming to Japan every month. And out of those 3 million people, if one person is kind of a not good person and does like a bad thing and ends up on TV, all the other 3 million people,
that's a bad representation.
all the other 3 million people are also getting kind of blamed for it.
Yeah.
When it's literally just one person.
Yeah, true.
Like, because that one person is on the news.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of, not that it doesn't exist, but I think it's definitely over-exaggerated a lot how...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think most people who come to Japan are normal and good and respectable.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah, like I would say like 5% of people are just like a normal, well-mannered,
like super respectful. I think like some of the most searched videos on YouTube about like Japan travel is like do's and don'ts of Japan.
Yeah.
And I think right now especially people are very nervous of like what they should and shouldn't do because of all the news stuff.
Right.
And like the big, picture of Mount Fuji behind the Lawson thing. So I thought maybe here we can just give some ideas of like things that we should and shouldn't do when you're traveling
because
to Japan.
Although only like those like fraction of the whole number is like taking picture of like a geisha and I don't know what they're doing, but it's still like a bad representation and it's been like sensationalized in like a Japanese media and like I watch Japanese news, so like I know what people in Japan are consuming and it looks
really bad. It looks really bad.
So
you don't want to be one of those people. You want to be one of the good ones who like when you come here, people are like, a good person.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's like a collective responsibility, like as a, whole.
Yeah, I think anywhere when you're traveling abroad,
True.
you kind of are representing your country wherever you go. Like personally, when I was in Kochi, every time I met someone, I knew like I was probably the only American that they were going to meet. And so like whatever impression they got of me is what they would think like all Americans. So like, which obviously isn't true, but like that's just what happens when there's like perception and
it's just how it is, I guess.
So anyway, let's think of some tips like off the top of our head of like things to do and things to not do.
Okay. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's just my personal opinion. So I know a few like business owners, right?
Oh, okay.
And then they do like online booking and stuff like that. And usually they complain about customers not being on time, or not even like showing up
to their reservation.
Right, to the reservation. And it's like a I don't is it a big deal in America?
It's not a big deal in the US, but it definitely is a big deal here.
It's a huge deal in Japan because like people, that's just like what people expect other people to do.
Yeah.
And it's like such a like shocking thing to like, wait, like you're just not gonna show up, or like you just like come in late, It's like a very punctual society. So I feel like a lot of people do have hard time, like people not showing up on time or like not showing up at all.
Yes, that's a really good point because I think if you make a reservation and like then you don't cancel it, you literally just don't show up, that's kind of like losing money for the business because like that reservation could have been filled by someone else who did show up and did pay money. They held that spot for you and then you didn't come. So like I think it really makes sense.
Yeah.
And the being an on time thing is a really huge thing here too. Like there are some like if you like character cafes, like if you want to go to the Pokemon cafe or something like that, if you're like not 10 minutes early, they might not even let you in even though you have a reservation.
Really?
So like being early in Japan is such a good etiquette And I definitely recommend trying to do that when you're here.
So, yeah, that's what I thought of.
That's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think you hear that one a lot. You always hear like, be quiet on the train, which is, I feel like, very obvious. Like, is it not obvious?
It is obvious, but I don't think it's like as big of like deal as like being on time, because because like businesses are like losing money on them,
right?
You know,
like
it's like
people
opportunity cost, you know.
Yeah.
So, but like I don't know, you know, I feel like Japanese people are like pretty loud, you know, outside of Japan too, or like even inside of Japan. So like I don't think, maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's a hot take. You know, it's just my personal opinion. Blame on me, you know. Don't blame on everybody else. But like, I don't think if it's like super loud, it's kind of annoying. But like, if you're like talking like at a normal loudness, you know, I don't think it's just...
It's definitely better to be quiet if you don't... Because people will think, like, if like the train is silent and all they hear is like loud English, they will think, annoying tourist.
Yeah.
So if you don't want that, just be quiet on the train. It's kind of peaceful. You can sleep on the train. You can study kanji on the train.
A lot of people do work. A lot of people study. I think your like foreignness, you know, is like amplified, right? Because like you're speaking in like different language, and like maybe some of you might look different from... That's the wrong way to put it. That's so you know, it's unfair, but it's just what it is.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely sometimes loud Japanese people too, and people get annoyed at them also.
She's so loud.
No, I'm not. He's way louder than me. But anyway, so they will get annoyed at Japanese people for being loud on the train, but there'll be an extra element of, a foreigner, like if you're loud on the train as a foreigner. So yeah, you don't have to follow it, but if you want to, you can.
What else?
What else?
What about like do's? Like, what are the positive things you can do?
That's a good point. Always saying sumimasen, I think, when you like, if you like bump into people.
Yeah, that's like the versatile.
Just, you can never say too many sumimasens. Like if there's like a chance for sumimasen, like say it. Something very interesting, I think I mentioned this on another podcast, is like when we're taught how to say like I'm sorry, we're taught like gomen nasai.
Right.
But actually most of the time you're gonna use sumimasen. Like gomen nasai is like if you're like hugely fuck up.
Yeah, you're like apologizing. Yeah. You know.
So just say sumimasen. It'll be a little weird if you're like gomen nasai when you bump into someone, because I see a lot of foreigners making that mistake.
I mean, it's not like wrong.
It's a little weird though. It's a little bit.
Just say sumimasen would be better. Like it's occasionally appropriate.
And when you say it, you can give a little bow to sumimasen.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
What else? We might have to think a little bit.
It's not like do's and don'ts, but like, I mean, it's like a pretty widely known thing, but like you don't have to tip. And like Japanese people are like very shy. So like even like if you're like go the extra mile to like be nice to the worker because like they do like, I don't know, like really good work or something, and like you want to tip, but like it might end up like a little bit awkward because they don't know, because some people just like are not familiar with the concept of tipping, you know, like I didn't know that was a thing until like I went to America. So you know, and I worked in a convenience store, and if somebody, you know, like tried to tip me back then, I'd be like, what do I do? You know, like, do I take the money? You know,
glitch.
yeah. You know, so that's why I mean, Japanese glitch is literally is right. So maybe don't tip at all. You know, maybe just don't say thank you. Yeah.
Say thank you. That's enough. I guess the volume, just always being aware of your volume. Like even not just on the train, just like in general when you're in public spaces. Yeah. Like people are just generally more quiet usually. Like if you're in Shibuya, be as loud as you want, but like most other places.
Okay, maybe it's like a really small thing.
Okay.
But actually, on my way here, I saw, I think she was tourist.
Okay.
She had like 2 plastic bottles, and like she was like really polite about it, right?
Yeah.
But so she went into a convenience store,
yeah,
and then she was like, like, I'm sorry, but like, could you like throw these away? I don't think that's like a good. I mean, they were like nice enough to. Oh yeah, sure, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of places will do it for you.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like a little bit annoying if you're like a business owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like if the person didn't shop at the store. It's not like a bad manner or anything. She was like really nice about it.
It's better than asking. If it's like if you're putting a plastic bottle in the pet bottle garbage at a convenience store, just do it. Just do it without asking.
Yeah.
Like it's better to just right.
Yeah.
Because like.
Yeah, because okay, so I worked at a Family Mart, you know, when I was younger, and like I saw people do that even though you're not supposed to. But then like most of us are just like part-time workers and we just like
minimum
don't
wage
really
employees
care, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if you're like owner
of
the business, maybe like you're like, what are you doing? But
what about the toilets at convenience stores? Because do you have to ask to use the toilet or should you just like chokusetsu go to the toilet?
So there's usually like a sign, like it's usually like right in front of the door, and but it's rarely written in English.
That it's only for customers' bathroom?
Yeah, but I think the good rule of thumb is like if you buy like a bottle of water or like I don't know like chewing gum or something like that, then like I don't think anybody's gonna complain. But I still feel iffy about like just using the bathroom, not like letting anybody know, and like not buying anything from the store. I don't do it, right? Like it's just my personal rule. But like if I buy something, I feel like I earned the right to use the bathroom. I don't know.
I know that's definitely gonna sound very weird to a lot of people, but I kind of feel weird too about using it without asking.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because I've heard like two perspectives. Like, I think people who have worked at convenience stores have a different perspective about using the bathroom than people who have never worked there, because I heard on a YouTube video from a girl who worked at a convenience store, like, always asked to use the bathroom at a convenience store.
Really?
And then I heard, like, my Japanese friends are like, what? Why are you asking? Just go. And I'm like, oh.
She's not like an owner or anything.
She's just a regular Japanese girl who worked at a convenience
but
store.
But maybe, okay, so maybe like I wasn't in charge of like cleaning the bathroom. Also, like I worked at a Family Mart back in Shikoku. So there were like much fewer people. But like maybe like if you, I don't know, like worked in a city, maybe it's annoying because like it's like a frequent occurrence and like you have to like clean.
Do the city ones even have bathrooms? I feel like the ones in Tokyo like don't usually have bathrooms.
If it's like closer to the station or like a city center, they usually don't.
Oh, they don't.
But if you go like suburb, maybe like
the ones around here don't have them.
Right.
Some of them might. I'm not sure.
But the ones that are closer to where I live, like I live in like a residential area. There are like a few conveniences. They all have them, and they're like in central Tokyo. So it depends, but yeah. If you're like further away from the station, they usually do.
Okay, that's a good thing to note.
Yeah.
Convenient bathroom culture. It's up for debate.
Yeah, buy water, bottled water, or something. Yeah.
You probably need water anyway. Don't dehydrate.
True.
It's like less than $1. So.
Yeah. You got something else?
Oh, what else?
Positive or negative? Do you think, okay, I actually don't know the answer to it, right? But like, do you think it's a good idea to talk to the locals? Just like out of the blue?
No. I mean, it depends on the situation. If you're like at a bar, I think like drunk people usually like to talk. I think you can kind of like read the room. But if you're just like on a train
out in the open, like
probably don't.
In public.
Don't try to practice your Japanese. Leave people alone. People leave each other alone here.
Yeah, I think that's like because like it's considered maybe like a good thing. It's like a positive thing. Maybe like rest of the world. Yeah. But probably not in Japan.
Yeah, and also not in New York. Don't talk to people in New York.
True,
if you try to talk to us in the elevator, we'll like call 911.
Okay, maybe it's like a city thing, right?
Maybe.
Because like if I was in Shikoku and if some like I don't know like tourists like walk up to me and like talk to me, like I would engage in a conversation. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, like people in the countryside are like more open to like engage in a conversation, whereas like in Tokyo, maybe like people are like more like distant and like they don't want the engagement, you know?
Yeah, I usually just let other people make the first move. I don't usually try to make the first move. So that's the best way to gauge if they want to talk to you, if they make the first move. I had an idea, but it went away. I guess photography is a good one.
What about it?
Taking pictures of people without their permission is like not good here. Whereas like if you want to even like take a picture of like the environment, like people will like be really like
Yeah,
they don't
Japanese
want
people
their
are like a
face.
very private people.
Yeah, especially on the train. Like, don't take your phone out on the train and take pictures.
Yeah. Right. And if you're a person from Korea, you could probably like answer this, but like I heard like in Korea it's like completely opposite. Like people.
Yeah, I heard that too. I've seen it too. Like YouTubers going to Korea and like they're like filming, and then the staff is like, "Hey."
Yeah.
But in Japan, the staff is like, they actually wear masks on purpose. A lot of the staff.
Oh yeah.
So that they're not, because they know like customers like to like take pictures of the food and stuff and like getting the food, and they don't want to be in the picture, so they wear masks to kind of like cover their face.
So like, because a lot of people travel both Korea and Japan.
Yeah.
So like if you're like coming from Korea and like if you like, I don't know, like trying to like film like a business and stuff, and like, you know, workers are like all friendly and like they're like trying to be in the frame, you know, even. And like whereas in Japan it's like opposite. So like maybe, you know, maybe like be careful, you know, because of the difference, maybe?
Totally. If you want to do like street photography and you see like a really like cool looking old man like standing at his fruit stall, maybe like don't take a picture of him without his permission here. I know it's hard because it's very photogenic and you're traveling and you want to get those nice shots, but like street photography. Like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure like a lot of people would say yes if you like ask them.
If you ask them, yeah. Especially older people, I've noticed. It's very interesting. Like old people, like in their 80s, are way more open to being in your photography and in your videos than like people who are maybe in their like 40s or middle age.
You know, I think what it is that because they don't know how powerful social media is,
you're
right? Because they're just like, for them, it's just like photo, right?
Yeah.
For like this person to look at. But then like people that are like younger than, I would say like what, like 60, 50, you know, like they know like,
what's going on
like
Instagram.
aren't you gonna like put that picture on like Twitter or something?
Right.
Like I don't want that, you know, kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, but yeah, that's a big one, I would say, to keep in mind. As a tourist, you want to take a lot of pictures and like videos. Definitely try to ask permission if you want. So how would you, so I think something that a lot of also Japanese learners don't know, I know I didn't know this when I was first learning, is like how to say, can you take my picture? And then can I take a picture with you? Like sometimes you want like someone to take a picture for you.
Right.
So yeah, maybe we can like teach people.
Oh, how do we say it?
Like,
so wait, what are the situations again?
Well, maybe I can tell you how I think to say it, and you can tell me if it's right.
Sure.
So if you want someone to take a picture of you, like you want to give them your phone and like you're posing by yourself in front of something, I would say, 写真撮ってもらえませんか?
Yeah. 写真撮ってもらえませんか? Or 写真撮ってくれませんか?
くれませんか?
Yeah. Same things.
Same thing,
Same
yeah.
things.
Or, and then like if you want to take a picture of someone or of like their food stand or something, I would say, 写真撮ってもいいですか?
Right. 写真撮ってもいいですか? Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only way to say it. Yeah.
So those are the two ways.
Yeah. Or if you want to take the picture with the person, you could say, 一緒に写真撮ってもいいですか?
That's true too, yeah.
So, yeah. I can't think of any other situations.
Yeah. I had a really funny experience when I was just traveling.
What is it?
I was in Kanazawa, and there was like a group of like young boys, like maybe college-age boys from Taiwan who were like tourists in Japan, and they like asked to take pictures with me and my friend who were traveling. They're like, can we take a picture with you guys? And we're like, I mean, sure, but like, why? We're literally just, I guess.
I think it's like
they haven't seen white people
before.
It's
like I think it's I don't want to generalize, but I think it's like an Asian thing, you know?
Yeah.
I think not so much in Tokyo, but like I think in a countryside, you know, like people do that. I was like, ooh, you know?
People don't do that in Japan though. People don't. They don't take pictures of other people without their permission, or like.
Oh, without permission?
Oh well, no, even not without. These guys asked permission. They took it with us. They were like posed with us in the picture. But
I think.
I've never.
I don't know.
I've never been asked to take like someone to just take a picture with me because I was just a foreigner.
Okay, so I think white person.
Yeah.
Is now pretty common
in Japan.
In Japan.
But maybe not so much in Taiwan still.
But I mean, Taiwan is like pretty popular.
I think Japan's
maybe they were like trying to like hit on you guys. No.
I don't think so. Like they were so much younger than us. They were college. There's no way they thought we were college people. I'm 30. I'm 32. Like, they were
Don't
babies.
flatter yourself. Yeah, but...
I don't think that they thought we were like their age, that they could hit on us.
They just thought like white girls like.
I think they're like, can we take a picture with you? I'm like, sure. And then they took it and thank you, and they left. That was it. That was the whole interaction.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But I think it doesn't really happen in Japan.
But like, have you seen like these so like people with like afro, people with like braids, you know, they walk around like countryside Japan and like grandmas are like really like interested in it. I was like, oh, like can I touch it, you know, kind of thing. And like I've only seen videos like on social media, but like they were like, yeah, like can we like take picture together, you know, kind of thing. I don't know how I feel about that, you know. It's like wholesome and not wholesome at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Same. I also don't know how to feel.
Yeah, I was like,
okay.
you know, it's not like a bad interaction, but like it could be like pretty annoying. I feel like I don't know.
I didn't find it annoying. It was just like interesting.
I mean, nobody wanted to take pictures with me.
It feels like
in
you're
America.
like a weird, like you're kind of like, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Pictures of people
There's no right or wrong
based
answer.
on
I feel like
their just nationality, I guess.
But asking for permission is probably like a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, they were respectful about it. That's why it's like, I honestly, I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
If you want to take a picture with me, I will happily take a picture with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're special enough to take pictures of.
Yeah, you never know.
Just a random 32-year-old lady.
What else?
What else? Pictures.
We did pictures, trains.
I feel like everyone already knows to take their garbage with them. What about eating all of your rice at a restaurant?
No, because even for like among Japanese people, it's pretty like
there are
divided.
people who don't eat all of their rice.
No.
Everyone eats all their rice.
Oh no! Like there are people that don't eat
all of the rice.
All the rice. I eat all of my rice.
I do too, honestly.
Because I grew up on a farm, so like you know, like my grandpa, you know, like the rice is, you know, it's the staple of Japanese diet, and like it's like super hard to like grow rice, you know, especially in Japan. So it's like, be appreciative, just like finish your rice.
Yeah, I think people are taught here when they're kids like that. Yeah. If the little kids don't eat the rice, the moms will be like, the farmer worked so hard for you to be able to eat this rice. Like, you need to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right? I try to eat all my rice because I don't want to be like, of course, like the foreigner didn't finish their rice.
Yeah. But then...
You don't have to.
You don't have to, right? Because, you know, if you fall, you're full.
Yeah.
But if you could just, like, finish off your rice.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, like clean it.
Yeah, like a single grain.
Not a single grain. It's just like a norm.
Yeah,
I feel like
it is. It's totally a norm here.
Which is like pretty confusing. It's complicated because in like a Chinese speaking countries, you know, it's actually polite to leave some food left.
Oh, really?
I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're like from Chinese speaking countries, maybe not all Chinese speaking countries, but like mainland China, I think that's the culture. And like I said, a lot of people travel like different Asian countries, so like it gets confusing.
The rules are like all different,
rules
so you're kind of getting.
I mean, obviously, right? I mean, different nations, different rules, but you know.
Yeah, well, we're just here to talk about the Japan.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So in Japan, the rule don't like, if you like clean your plate, you know, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
What about complimenting people in Japan? I feel like that's kind of...
Like, what kind of compliments, though?
Like, you wouldn't... In the U.S., like, you could normally be like, oh my god, I love your dress, or I love your hat, or like, oh my god, you look so nice today. Like, I love your haircut. Like, you don't do that here, right?
You don't...
It's, like, considered flirting, and it's
You
weird.
don't do that here. But it's just kind of, like, awkward, you know? I mean, like, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna know what to do with it.
I know, that's you're causing them discomfort. Like, don't compliment people because they literally don't know how to respond. Like, I watched it happen recently.
Yeah.
Like, someone just like say, like a girl to another girl, like, oh my god, you look so beautiful, and she like literally was like she didn't know how to handle the compliment, and I could see the awkward situation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just not something that people do. Plus the language barrier.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you know?
Yeah, I also heard a really funny story about a guy who was trying to compliment a girl and be like, you look cute today. And like we learned like, oh, it looks delicious as oishi so. You look cute today. Kawaii so. But in Japanese, kawaii so actually means like, you poor thing.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
You poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he like was trying to be like, oh, you look so cute today. He's like, oh, kawaii so. And she was just like,
Maybe you get to know the person first, you know. Maybe like not like on the street, but like maybe like actually like make Japanese friends at a bar or something, and then you know let's like incorporate that into a conversation. I know it's like easy to say, hard to do kind of thing, but
just don't compliment people at
maybe
first.
Not. Yeah, maybe not.
Like if you're coming here as a tourist, you're probably not going to come into a situation where you should be complimenting people. You can compliment the food, like if the chef makes you delicious food, you can be like, totemo oishikatta desu.
Yeah. That's completely acceptable.
Yeah, that's good. Compliment food. You can compliment people's work too, but don't compliment them directly.
That's true.
Like,
wait, what do you mean?
Like the food, for example.
Oh,
like
okay.
That's like they made that for the
or
customer.
like art.
Yeah, art.
Art, food, stuff like that. Yeah. That's true. What about I don't have like a particular opinion on this, but like what about like how you dress?
That's a really good point because I've seen a lot of debate online about this.
Right.
So obviously in Japan, like there's certain, I think it's way more conservative than, for example, the US. So like if you show like your cleavage here, it's considered down. Even this like is a little scandalous here that my whole shoulder is visible. So if you want to like fit in while you're here and like dress for the occasion, which is something personally I like to do. I like to like fit the vibe of wherever I am. Then you could dress a little more conservatively. In Japan, like the rule of thumb is like you can show as much of the leg as you want as long as like this whole area is covered.
Okay.
But again, you don't have to. There are Japanese people who don't. It's not a rule, but if you're someone who wants to dress for the occasion, like you can. There's a lot of videos online and like how to dress in Japan.
I think it's like highly depends on like where you are in Japan too. You know, like when you're in like city center, like Tokyo, Kyoto, maybe not Kyoto, but like Osaka. You know, I don't think anybody's gonna think twice of it.
Yeah, especially Tokyo.
Right. I
see
mean,
people dressing scandalous here all the time.
Right. I mean, Tokyo is like, you know, like one of the fashion capitals in the world. It's like, you know, like people dress however they want, you know. I don't know. Also, I want to ask, like, are we that conservative when it comes to like how we dress?
Yeah, I think so.
You think?
In general.
You mean like shoulders and
like this whole area. It's not like crazy conservative, but like. Yeah,
I guess compared to the West for sure.
Yeah, when I'm in the US, I dress differently than when I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
I just feel more comfortable if I'm like fitting the vibe of where I am.
Yeah.
That's just my personal thing. But again, it's not a rule. It's just like if you want to, you can.
True. Yeah.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah. When I talk to my Japanese friends, I think they almost always say these two things. It's not my opinion, by the way, but like that's what I hear is that. Okay, so leggings.
Yeah.
So like yoga pants.
That's true.
So that's one thing they're like very like
Dame.
surprised about.
Yeah.
Well, they're not saying like they shouldn't wear them, but like
it's not worn here the way
it's just not worn here. So like people would be like
considered revealing.
Whoa, yeah. I don't know if it's like a podcast appropriate, but like no bra is like another thing people talk about, or like they're like very like surprised about.
Yeah, I would never not wear a bra in Japan.
So
personally.
I guess like if you're trying to like when in Rome, if you're like a when in Rome kind of person, maybe like you should not wear yoga pants and like wear a bra. I guess. yeah. But again, you know, I don't think it's like that big of a deal.
Yeah. Also, people like expect like when they see you as a foreigner and like if you appear as foreigner, like people think they're just foreigner, that's how they dress there, like no one's like expecting you to like conform to Japanese dressing standards when you come here. So if you want, you can, but that's with all of these rules, like they're kind of our opinions, like they're not like fully the law. And like Japan is a big country, I mean it's a small country compared to the US, but like there's a lot of variation depending on like where in the country you are, and also just opinions people have in general. So take everything you hear on the internet with a grain of salt.
True.
And with that, should we move to our next segment, which is the news?
Yes.
So for those of you who are new here, every week Shota will read a news article in Japanese, and we'll see how much you guys can understand and how much I can understand. So,
right.
Afterwards, I will try to...
いただきます。
はい。
東京23区で30代が住みたい区が発表されました。
Okay.
第2位は、得票率 10.4% の杉並区でした。23区の西部に位置する地域です。区内には JR 中央本線ほか京王電鉄の京王線、井の頭線、東京メトロ丸の内線などが通っています。はい。
Okay.
子育て支援が充実していることも特徴の一つです。子ども医療費助成制度や、子育て応援券の配布などさまざまな取り組みを行っているので、家族で住みたい区として人気を集めているのかもしれません。はい。第1位は、得票率 15.6% の世田谷区でした。23区の南西部に位置しています。高級住宅街の情勢エリア、サブカルチャーの聖地として知られる下北沢エリアなどがあり、一つの区でさまざまな側面を感じられることが票を集めた一因かもしれません。はい、以上です。That's it.
Hi. Okay. I think I
Oh,
understand
you're
some
smiling.
things.
You're smiling. Okay.
I definitely didn't
What does that
understand all
mean?
of it, but I did understand some of
Okay,
it.
but what did you understand?
So I guess they surveyed people in their 30s in Japan, or in Tokyo specifically, to see like the most popular ku district.
Right. Wards.
For people
or
to
districts.
live in.
Right.
And so the one that came in number 2, what was it?
Suginami.
Suginami. Yeah, it's not a place that I'm familiar with.
Right.
But anyway, that was number 2, and it was because it had a lot of good. It's very well connected via train, so it has the Chuo-sen, the Inokashira-sen, the Keio-sen, and also for families, like there's like for people with kids, it's a good place to live. But I don't remember the details of like why it's a good place to live if you have kids. But for some reason, oh yeah, there was a word that I didn't know that you said. It was like irio.
Right.
What is that?
So 医療 is a medical care, and 医療費 is a medical fee.
Okay.
はい。で、医療費、助成 means like assistant.
Okay, I was thinking like women when you said josei.
Oh, right. Same sounding,
Yeah,
but different
I know the
kanji.
kanji.
Yeah. So 医療助成制度 means system.
Yes.
So like a governmental system. So medical fee assistance program by the government. 医療助成制度. I know
I'm not mad that I didn't understand that part.
Right. Yeah, I think.
But I actually do know all of those words that you just said.
Right. So put them all together.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. And 子育て応援券. I don't.
That part I didn't know either.
Right.
Yeah.
So 子育て means like raising children.
Yeah.
Right. And 応援 means cheering.
Oh yeah.
And ken is like a ticket. So like it's like a voucher for like medical care and stuff. So like what's it called? Coupon or like a discount ticket for like. So that's why. So they were like distributing these like tickets. So and like other programs like that. So that's why it was popular among people in 30s because people in 30s they're like raising kids. Yeah.
Okay, and so then the second part was about the number 1, the one that came in first place, which was actually Setagaya.
Yeah.
And which I love the Setagaya area because of, like, as mentioned in the article, Shimokitazawa.
Right.
I think there were some other places that were mentioned, but I didn't know the names of those.
Right, I didn't know either.
Okay. But yeah, so.
Right, so Setagaya is number 1, people among 30s. And it's because it has 高級住宅街.
Yeah, what's
so
that?
it's like a gated community. But 高級 means like high end.
I know 高級, but what's 住宅街?
住宅 is just like a fancy way to say home or like a residential. Right, 高級住宅街, and 街 means like area.
Okay. Yeah, I do know that.
Right. So I mean, those are like not difficult kanjis.
Yeah.
But all of them, it's like a gated community, like a prestige community. How do you say that? It's like a gated community.
That's seishiro.
Seijo.
Seijo. So
Right.
it's like castle.
Right, that's a unique noun.
Yeah.
Right, so
Castle area.
so it's known as like prestige area.
Yeah.
But like inside the same district, there's a place like Shimokitazawa, where like young people gather, and it's like a I don't know, pop
Very
culture
hip.
central, right? It's like
Hip
a
neighborhood.
hip neighborhood.
Stylish cafes and
Right.
stuff.
So the article was saying it's popular because the word is so diverse. So
Yeah.
yeah, wow, that was impressive.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So
how much did you guys understand?
Let us know in the comments. Cool. Yeah. What about you personally? Do you have a favorite ku where you would live? Besides the one that you live in?
Oh, besides the one, okay. So my favorite.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one area to live
Yeah.
in Tokyo, that would be Nakameguro.
Oh, why?
In Meguro ward. I don't know. I just really like that area. I think my favorite would be either Nakameguro and Shibuya.
Shibuya.
Yeah, because I mean.
This is surprising to me.
No. Like as a ward.
Okay.
Not the station. So like when people say Shibuya,
Yeah.
like people generally refer
Like I want
to
to live as far away from Shibuya as
right. But Shibuya ward,
It's bigger.
it's
than-
bigger.
Okay.
And surprisingly, it's pretty residential.
I see.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
expensive,
outside
though.
of the tourist area.
Yeah. So not the Shibuya station area, but like
Not where there's
Shibuya
the
ward
Shibuya
in
crossing.
general.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No.
And hard no.
Yeah.
I think I have a little different. I agree with the article actually. I like Shimokitazawa. I think it's like really fun and hip. I love the cafes there. I love the vibe there. The thrifting. It's like so fun.
Yeah. So you like Setagaya?
Yeah, I would choose Setagaya
Okay.
and
That's a
Shimokitazawa
good one.
specifically.
That's good one.
Yeah, I just love the cafes there, especially like they have so much good vegan cafes and like just great places for coffee. If you're like a hipster like me, it's a good place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so boring. No, I was kidding. No, because okay, so these are for like, I think these were like answered by like parents
For people with
in their
kids.
30s. So maybe that's why there's no like Shibuya, there's no like Shinjuku, stuff like that.
Yeah. That seems like younger people would like.
Yeah, if
go
you're like
Shibuya.
single, without
And young,
children,
you might love Shibuya. It's a very convenient place. Like I often have to go to Shibuya for like work stuff. Like whenever I have to like meet people for shooting, like we often meet in Shibuya. When I do like, there's some co-working places that like are popular in Shibuya. So
yeah, a lot of like IT company headquarters and like hip cafe.
that's probably where I have to go to like the most for work.
Yeah,
so.
true.
I hate
And
it
to
every
hang
time
out.
I go there. Maybe if you like to party, I don't go there to hang out.
It's a nice area. I like it.
Yeah, if you've never been to Japan before, definitely worth checking out Shibuya.
Yeah.
But maybe if you live in Tokyo, you might, unless you're a party person. If you're a party person, if you like drinking, like nightlife, like it's a good place for that stuff.
I feel like Shibuya. Sorry, it's like an off topic, but like I feel like Shibuya is like a less trashy version of Roppongi. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Roppongi is so trashy.
I feel like Shibuya is still trashy, but it's a different type of trashy.
True.
But it's pretty trashy.
But I'm not saying Shibuya isn't trashy. It is trashy. It's very trashy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't like Roppongi.
I just thought of like from our conversation before about like things what not to do. The other day I saw a video of someone like getting on the Hachiko statue and taking a picture. Did you see that?
I did, but like, I mean, do we really have to like tell them not to? Because I mean,
Apparently, but no, I think something that's less obvious. Like obviously, don't sit on a statue.
right.
But something that's less obvious. Don't sit on like anything that's not a chair. Because like people like in the US, like if you're tired, you'll sit on a step, I don't know, a fence.
Right.
Like if you, or on the floor even, some people will sit. People don't do that here. Unless like you're super drunk and like having a Shibuya meltdown.
Yeah. I think
It's weird, especially if you're in Kyoto, like anything that's like butt level, like a lot of tourists will sit on, and like sometimes they don't even realize it's like actually it's not just a rock, it's kind of a sacred statue.
Yeah.
So like don't sit on anything that's not an actual chair.
Yeah.
Would be my
I can't
advice.
say like nobody does that, because some people definitely do.
I really don't see Japanese people doing
Really?
that. You do?
I do, yeah.
Where?
In
like
Shibuya? Yeah.
Okay, maybe Shibuya is fine.
Yeah. So
none of these rules actually apply in Shibuya.
But yeah, no, but you're right. You're definitely not like supposed to, like, culturally.
If you sit on the floor, like, I remember, like, I worked at a tea shop in Kyoto, and there was a girl who came as, like, an exchange to do an internship, and she, like, came to work at the tea shop for, like, a few months. So she, like, obviously was very new to Japan, and, like, she didn't really know the cultural rules yet. And on her break, she was just wanting to go outside and get some fresh air. She would literally, like, sit on the stoop in front of the store, like, on the curb.
Right.
And, like, everyone was looking at her, and she's like, why is everyone looking at me? I was like, people don't sit on the floor here. It's just, like, not a thing that happens.
Was it in, like, a city center, or, like, it was more like a outskirts, like residential?
It's a little residential, but it's also close to the touristy spot.
Sure,
so,
okay.
like, kind of in between.
I don't know. Maybe if it was like the most crowded area, then maybe it's like you don't really like stand out if you do it. But like if it's like a little bit outskirts, you know, a little bit residential, then like people kind of like look at you weird.
I think people also see it as like not clean sitting on the floor. They're like, oh my god, that person's sitting on the floor.
Because it isn't.
Look at that.
It
Look at this
isn't.
dirty ass person.
Yeah. True.
Just another random rule that you can follow or not follow, and it's not a big deal. But that's if you wanna fit the vibe, if you wanna do the things that people do here.
Yeah.
Don't sit on this floor or on a statue. Don't sit on the statue.
Yep.
Please don't sit on statues and take pictures.
Yeah, I feel like that's giving though, you know?
Why
would you do it? Why would you do it? I mean...
Did you guys see that? What did you think of it? Like, let us know.
I don't think being drunk can even, like...
Justify sitting on a statue.
the situation. Yeah, it's like... Because it's like a cultural thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What about, I have a reverse cultural thing that I also saw on the internet recently that was kind of funny. So people were really mad. It went viral because there's a lot of like arguments in the comments. So there's a church bar in Tokyo. Did you see this?
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been there?
Yeah, a couple times.
So people are getting really mad because they're saying it's like disrespectful to like turn a sacred cultural church into like
a bar. Okay. So I went to a college in a town called Laramie.
Yeah.
In state of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Go Pokes. There's a bar named
in a church. And it's in a church.
Yeah.
Served by someone dressed as a nun.
Probably not, but it's the same concept.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know why though?
Why?
Because so there are two bars. Well, I mean there are more bars than two, but like there are particularly two bars in Laramie, Wyoming. One is called church, one is called library, right? Do you know why?
Why?
Because so that students can call their parents, and like if their parents, you know, asks you, you know, hey, where you at? You know, you can say, oh, I'm at library, you know, I'm at church, you know. So I mean, you know,
yeah, it's a very gray area.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know either. I also feel like it just. I don't have any strong connections, so I can't. Like,
I'm just
speak for people who do.
But I can definitely understand if you are religious.
Right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And like people are
I know where
turning
you're coming
your
from.
religious place into a party place. Like,
But I'm just saying, like it's not just like a Japan specific thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But I think it is definitely a thing here where like religion is like
not
I've
taken
seen
seriously.
kind of like I've seen temples have like raves in them. I've never been to a temple rave, but I've seen it on the internet.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit more of a gray line here where they feel like I don't know. I feel like
really, because I feel the opposite about like church culture in America, because like you know Kanye church, you know, these like a mega church do like concerts, you know, like preachers like wear like ripped jeans and like they, you know, it looks like it literally looks like a Justin Bieber concert, but it's like a mega church concert. So it's like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
But let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Down below because we don't have any.
I can't say if it's like right or wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not in the place to say it's right or wrong.
I'm just not qualified
to
say
like
anything.
Part of the church.
Yeah, sure.
This person wants to know about traveling in the countryside because I've posted a few countryside travel videos recently.
Yeah, that's my field.
Do you think in the countryside it's better to rent a car or to go by train?
I'll rent a car.
Right,
Hands down.
I feel the same
Hands
way.
down.
Rent a car, you'll have so much more access and so much more freedom.
Rent a car.
If you can. And it's pretty easy to rent a car if you're coming here as a tourist. You can just like apply in your country. Like for example, in the US, you go to AAA, pay $20, show them your license. They give you the international license and you can use that to rent a car in Japan. You can make the reservation online. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, well, also, the train systems in rural prefectures are not as comprehensive as what it is in the cities, especially compared to Tokyo. You know, even Osaka compared to Tokyo is like massively less comprehensive. You know, it's still like you can survive without a car.
Yeah.
But it's not like Tokyo. You know, so like if you stayed in Tokyo and you're like, oh wow, you know, I can definitely like get to places without a car. That's not the case outside of Tokyo.
Yeah.
You know, especially like I'm from Shikoku and you lived in Shikoku, and like where I'm from, like closest station is like 25 minutes away, and like there's only like 1 or 2 trains like in an hour.
That's the biggest thing, I think. Even more than just being not comprehensive, the fact that they like come like not frequently.
Yeah.
Like, and they also like end super early. Like sometimes the buses, it's like the last bus is at 4 p.m. and then like you're just stranded there because you did not expect the last bus to be at 4 p.m.
True.
And then like, what are you gonna do? Call a taxi? Can you do that in Japanese? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I can now, but I definitely couldn't when I first came here.
Yeah. Also, you have to, also like even taxi is not like what it is in the cities, you know? Like you have to like call them.
Yeah.
You have to like book an appointment because they're not like driving around, obviously.
Yeah.
You know?
It takes some time.
Yeah, it takes some time. So.
And it's also hard to describe where you are. Like a lot of times you can't just like give the address on the phone.
There's no landmarks in the countryside.
Yeah, you need a landmark.
Yeah, like I see like rice patties, you know, like I see a
pick me
house.
up by the second rice patty.
I see Tanaka-san over there. You know? It's like it's
so
hard to describe where you are. That's true. That's true.
Rent a car if you can. It's not impossible to get around the countryside with no car, but it's definitely easier. You'll have a lot more access, and it's just way more convenient.
That's true.
You're not sitting around waiting for bus. Like you're not held to the bus schedule. You have a lot more freedom. You can spend the time you want at the attraction that you want. So. Yeah, that's what I would say to that. If you have any questions for us, please send us an email at kotatsuklubbpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, that's it for today.
All right. Well, I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.